Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man that will never flash cheese again. It's Norbert Morvan.
Give me the goddamn kitty cat bracelet, you mother!
Hey Norbert.
PG-13, kids, PG-13.
There are three types of people who flash cheese.
Okay, number one.
People who don't know any better.
Okay.
People who are seeking to intimidate.
And finally.
People who really want you to try to take it.
I think really want you to try. Please.
Come on. Like, you know what's interesting is Bob Odenkirk compared his character to someone who is sober for 10 years and then just goes and chugs a bottle of whiskey and just loses that 10-year chip. Like, that's with him in violence.
I get it.
And
definitely get it.
You know what I completely forgot about is during the bus fight in Nobody 2021, he goes back in the bus.
Okay, and that's why I titled my notes, Bob Nobody Hutch Wants to Die.
Yeah.
He wants to die. This whole movie, he would rather be dead than live in this banal suburban life with his wife who looks like Connie Nielsen and his two all-American kids.
Yeah, who take the rest of his coffee.
Constantly. And the wife just constantly, every day, you keep missing the garbage. You miss the garbage. You miss the garbage. You miss the garbage. The man is doing pull-ups at a bus stop.
Yeah.
There is no more beautiful way for them to show just the seething rage inside this man. Who does pull-ups at a bus stop?
I have never seen that before.
Usually you go to a park, they have the jungle gym, and that's where you get your street stretch on. as they used to say in Delocated, that was a great street stretch. But that's where you go and get your exercise on, If you really want to be, that guy who has to show everybody that he's, I'm in such great shape, look at how I exercise. Maybe you do it at the stoplight on the crosswalk signal. Do your pull. I've seen dudes in New York do that. Just look at how strong I am. Okay. But this man's at a bus stop staring at his wife's face in the ad.
Yeah.
Just seething with rage every day. The man wants to die. And why does he want to die? Because he can't kill people anymore. He's a psycho, man. He's a sociopath.
His whole family.
Yeah.
He's the last guy called in. You can't take prisoners, so he just murders everybody. He's a murderer. And
He's a murderer.
I think my favorite line in this movie is when he's talking to all the dead. Everyone keeps dying before he finishes his story, but he's talking to all the dead Russians in the basement. Yeah. And he goes, I may have overcorrected. Like, that's the funny, because you can do that. You can overcorrect.
Clearly. Clearly.
He wants to murder, but he's gone so far. Like, yeah, I think though he had to overcorrect to get as far as he went.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's never gonna live a suburban life. Like, he had to wildly. Real quick, I gotta say, I'm just happy this movie wasn't falling down too. That was my main thing that I was happy about.
It could have gone there. So you do feel that, yeah. You feel it.
Because I saw the previews for this movie, and it's like, oh, he's a nobody. He has socks. And he wears high socks, and his wife hates him, and his kids hate him. I don't want to bring politics into it, but it's during sort of a politically charged era, with COVID, and I was like, oh no, I hope this really isn't falling down too. But then it's just John Wick, written by the guy who wrote John Wick, Derek Kolstad.
Basically.
Directed by a dude who wrote Hardcore Henry. It's 90 minutes, and then RZA pops up, and then Christopher Lloyd starts shooting people, and
Christopher Lloyd is a demon with a shotgun.
And then there's bus fights, there's car chases, there's fun musical cues. It's just a fun movie, man. It's in and out, great fight scenes. Odenkirk trained 2 years for it, and I gotta tell you, when I learned that he was a psychopath who murdered people and tried to go straight and now is going back and murdering people, I was so relieved.
Can you imagine? He had no other ulterior motive other than, I enjoy murder.
Yeah.
His dad, at the end of the movie, when they're at the factory / office and just mowing down henchmen from Russia, Christopher Lloyd takes a moment to not shoot someone with the killer sawed-off shotgun. God damn it, Hutchie. I find you miss this shit. And that's the premise of the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I really miss killing people.
That could be the title. That could be the title.
Yeah.
Back at it.
It really could be.
This is great.
It really could be. You keep running into these people throughout the movie who just really want to be a tough guy. You know? There's so many. Man, I wish they would have robbed my house. How many people keep saying that to him?
Yeah.
Good God, I wish they would have robbed my house. And I blame that on the rise of MMA. Everybody thinks that because MMA guys, all they do is wrestle. I could choke a guy. I put a guy in a figure four last night, you know? Everybody thinks that they can just kick everyone else's ass.
That's the craziest thing about fighting is that, Norbert, you and I, right? We've never walked into an accountant's office or an orca trainer, a Shamu trainer's office and been like, right. I'm better than you at your job. Like, no. But then when there's a fighter in the room, all these dudes are like, this is what I would do. I would triple suplex him, and I would follow it up with a double Undertaker spill, and I would do it with one hand with a Bud Light 16-ounce not pouring out. And you're like, listen, dude, you'd be knocked out in 6 seconds.
You're not ready.
And I was like, and if the fight went longer than 30 seconds with you windmilling punches, you'd puke. You would just fall over. You would not be able to lift your arms. So you're right, though, the rise of MMA and just movies in general where people are like, I could take them. No, you could not. You could not take that person. No, you don't do cardio. Like you don't even know what a punch is. Like this would be ugly. Don't like Amanda Nunes in the UFC champion, she'd beat the living daylights out of me. Like there's no.
It's not something that is as easy as it looks. Quite simply.
Yeah.
For God's sake, something that has blown up in the last 5 to 10 years is just random celebrities saying, yeah, I could beat this guy's ass in a boxing ring. I can do it. And by the end of the first round, they're going to have an asthma attack.
Yep.
Because gloves are heavy, number one. Number two, you got to keep moving so you don't get your clock cleaned. And then number three, you got to keep punching, bro. Your arms become leaden weights at your side.
I can speak from experience. When I was a senior in high school, I don't know if you've heard this story. I was a senior in high school and I needed money. So I entered a 8-man boxing match competition. And so I was a senior in high school. I drove my 94 Dodge Shadow convertible to a place, Sweet. I think it's like Bronco Bills or something. I entered into the tournament. I didn't have any gear. I think I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't wrap my wrists, no nothing, anything. But I was like, you can win money if you do this. So I got matched up in the first round against this guy who had tearaway pants and like his wrists were wrapped up. And I was like, man, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Like this guy.
Clearly.
I was like, this guy's gonna tear off his pants soon. Like if you can tear off, I'm serious. And then he tore off his pants. He had shorts, whatever. And I was like, man, this guy.
Some kind of violent Chippendale is just gonna come at you.
I mean, it is Tampa, home of Channing Tatum. And so I was like, great. Like this dude had wrist wraps and he had a sleeveless T-shirt. I remember I wore my Hudson tennis T-shirt. I think I had like Billabong shorts on or something. I think I was barefoot. I don't even remember. But
classic.
I remember the fight was 90 seconds, and I ended up busting the guy's nose open, his mouth open, and his eye was like all bloody. I remembered his girlfriend crying, and he was just laying on the mat.
Jesus.
I remember the guy looked at me, and I was like beating him up for about a minute, and then he put his fist down, and I was like, okay, and I just hit him so hard, and that was the beginning of the end. I was like, what? It was funny though. Like he was trying to taunt me. I'm like, put your hands down again, I'll hit you. So he's laying on the ground crying. But funny thing happened after that match, 90 seconds. I went and started puking because I wasn't hydrated. And then the fights go on, and I had to fight this guy, and I couldn't lift my arms up. So
you're done.
I was like, I have like 30 seconds left. So I hit him hard a few times, and then my arms just died. So then I spent about a minute getting punched in the face, and the ref is like, lift your hands up, and I was like, I can't lift my hands.
No, I'm done.
I was like, he's like, you lift your hands. I'm like, I can't even lift my hands. And so like everyone in the crowd like, what's going on? Like what? And then so I'm just getting hit, and like I kept yelling. I was like, I can't lift my arms, and like pop. And then eventually the fight got called, and the guy won, moved on. But that like after 90 seconds, Norbert, my arms were dead, and I was an 18-year-old who, I played tennis, I wrestled, I was in shape, I could run miles.
Right.
But one boxing match of 90 seconds, deadened my arms. I couldn't. So I know that's a long story, but it's
No, it's okay, man. We'll tune in next week, ladies and gentlemen, for Mark Hoffmeyer, Cage Fighter. More
I'll
tales.
show my
Soon.
bouncing stories. But yeah, man, like it's true. That's why Odenkirk had to train for this movie for 2 years. Like
Yeah, it's serious.
fighting's annoying, man. And I'm sorry you kicked that off of me, but Megan and I'm a big UFC fan. I'm a big MMA fan. Pride. I used to rent the VHS tapes. I remember there was a hurricane day in Florida, and I went to Blockbuster and I rented UFC tapes and just to watch because we had the day off of school. It's like the most Florida thing, renting UFC VHS tapes during a hurricane day.
There it is.
But Megan and I used to go out to fights and watch them before we got old. And all the dudes, though, Norbert, just like, oh, bro, like, I would do a sick double twist. And you're like, what's a double twist? Like, what?
Well, that's, the only positive thing that you could say in terms of a good message. Because this movie, the messages are very dark.
Murder people.
Murder's fun. You shouldn't quit. That's the main message of this movie. But the other message is, look, man, you really don't start fights with random people. Because Bob Odenkirk, he absolutely looks like he's going to sell you insurance, and then he'll send you a birthday card every year after you sign the insurance contract just to, hey, how's it going? Just Merry Christmas. And actually, this man's a murderer. The guy in the tattoo shop, when he does the showing of cheese, he sees the 7-2 cards of spades tattoo on his wrist. Oh, thank you for your service. Disappears, goes into what is basically a safe room and quadruple locks it. And then these other guys, okay, so maybe we shouldn't try to attack this dentist-looking cat over here. Yeah, that's the lesson of this movie. Don't mess with the randos that you see.
And I love it that it's not Falling Down. It's not Joker. This is just a man who wants to murder people. That's it.
That's his fate.
There's no dog that's taken or killed. That was, his wife didn't die and he was left with a dog and some people killed it. This is a guy who he thought his kitty cat bracelet was stolen and he went to get it back. And then he was so mad that he couldn't kill somebody in that apartment or in the tattoo place that he just fought the people on the bus. He was going to fight somebody that night.
He was looking to not only fight, but hopefully if he got killed, he wouldn't have to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
Oh, man. And he walked off that bus. Those Russians, played by some of the biggest stuntmen on the planet, by the way.
Large dudes.
Like some of the guy who did all of the fights for this is played by Daniel Bernhardt. He's the castrated. He's like John Wick. He was one of the guys in John Wick, Atomic Blonde, Skylines, Blood. He was in Bloodsport 2 back in the day, Matrix. So he was part of the oh man, there's a group. I know the group. I have it in my notes. I have like 7,000 notes. I'll find it later. But yeah, like the craziest. He was going to kill him, and they were going to let him go. They were not. He was such a non-entity that they were just going to let him walk right by. Mm-hmm. And then he locks him in.
Well, the madness is, okay, so he's gone into the house. You set the scene. He's found the people who tried to break and enter / home invade his house. His son, to his credit, actually gets the drop on one of them, which you're playing with fire. He was smart enough to know with his extensive pre-murder career that the gun wasn't loaded, but his kid didn't. But clearly somewhere in the mitochondrial DNA, the kid just has the vibe, I'm a murderer too. And he's just ready. You've invaded my house, prepare to die. And Odenkirk / Bob Nobody, he's about to just tee off on one of the burglars. Doesn't do it. Son basically calls him a punk for not murdering these cats. He's enraged. And then he wakes up in the morning and goes through the typical horror of breakfast. And then the daughter, where's my kitty cat bracelet? And the Incredible Hulk music goes off. And then he just, okay, now it's time to murder. He plays a fake cop with the FBI badge, which is a 3-year crime if you're caught. Impersonating a federal officer, that's a 3-year crime. Finds the people, wants to murder them, doesn't care if the baby's in the room either, because just all the old instincts start kicking in. Can't murder, starts punching a wall.
5 times.
Gets 5 times, punches a wall. This is something that baseball players and Amari Stoudemire have tried, fighting inanimate objects. It's usually a fight that you don't win. Bob, nobody, no broken hand, nothing. Just some scuffed up knuckles. The man is made out of Wolverine bones. Gets on the bus. Please, God, let me kill somebody tonight. That's one of the lines he's delivered. Hired goons crash into the bus in a drunken party thing. Why does the bus driver open the door? I'm screaming. I'm like, why did you open the door? You're going to get their insurance information? Call the MTA. They'll take care of it for you, man. And then that's it. That's it. He intubates a guy because at least I didn't go that far. I crippled him. He'll never walk again. He's got brain damage. But hey, I made sure that he could breathe with this straw, this filthy straw. He got stabbed, man. Bob, nobody gets stabbed. And he's just like, okay, it's just a flesh wound. Just a flesh wound.
He takes a Vin Diesel fast forward bullet wound too. And doesn't worry about it.
Brother, the man takes just movie beatings. Remember John McClane, the second half of Die Hard?
Yep.
He's been shot. He's got shredded glass covering his body. You ever cut your feet? That's the most, cutting the feet is really underrated. And when McClane pulls that blade of glass out, I felt that. I was there. Bob, nobody gets stabbed. Yeah, it hurts, whatever. Now I'm going to break your arm across a bus pole. It's a psycho, kid.
When I trim my nails too short, I'm in misery. That's my pain threshold. And this guy's getting stabbed. He purposely hits his head on the he hit his head on the railing in the bus to make him show like he's a non-graceful brawler. That's what I love about Nobody, though. He's like a miniaturized tank, essentially. Yeah. He's a live Bob Odenkirk tank. Speaking of that,
it's like Captain America.
Did you ever watch Mr. Show?
Oh, yeah. Oh man.
You know that skit where the guy's like, "You guys want some mashed potatoes?" Yeah. Like, and he's like, "You guys want some tires?" But they have to buy everything. Have you seen that skit? And by the end of it, they have all this crap that they had to buy.
I honestly haven't watched that show in like 20 years. Okay. I loved it, but it was on.
Do you guys want some mashed potatoes? Yeah, $20. And they're like, oh, okay. But sorry, I don't know where that came from.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
It shows started there. It shows where he came from, I guess, Bob Odenkirk. But yeah, just it, man. Like going on there and just the violence that he does. And I love what Odenkirk said. He said, I wanted to do this movie. Like I either wanted this movie to I wanted to make it right, and I wanted to maybe destroy my career. So he was taking a huge chance on this, and
a huge dice roll.
So I feel like he and the director Ilya Naishuller, and listen, you heard me learn his pronunciation before this episode. I was
Naishuller, man.
Yeah. And so they knew the character. Like they're talking about how it's an addiction drama about a man whose addiction is to violence, and I don't know. I don't know.
It's beyond an addiction to violence, man, because an addiction to violence is Fight Club. That's an addiction to violence. Those guys, they wanted to quote unquote feel something. So they fight each other. This man used to be a murderer for the government. And he wasn't one of those dispassionate, it's just a job. He really liked it. Okay. The RZA, his adopted brother, is in hiding because he's supposed to be playing dead. For God's sake, what did he get into?
Yeah.
That's going to be Nobody 2 Electric Boogaloo, man, the prequel. Clearly.
I have now seen RZA throw a front kick and shoot 3 people through the head with 1 bullet. Life doesn't get any better, Norbert.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You know what's funny? They had him for only a few days, and the director was talking about it. They're like, listen, he's like, RZA's watched more action movies than any of us has lived on this earth. He's like, he knew what to do.
He knew what to do.
And I found a really great quote. And there's something that I've always thought about, Wes Anderson movies. When you look at Royal Tenenbaums and like the dog death and the suicide, and you look at Grand Budapest Hotel with the murder, the director said that he wanted to have the violence to be Wes Anderson-esque violence. I'm not quite sure. I don't know how they followed through on that, but he's like, this is what he said. There's going to be music and there's going to be slow motion. So there's slow motion in this. Music plays a major part. I mean, remember in Moonrise Kingdom, they murder the dog and then a guy gets shot like in the face. Like his movie, and
brutal.
People get killed in Wes Anderson films, but the director said he wanted to do a Wes Anderson type vibe, which you can tell with the stylistic stuff. You have the Black Russian, and you kind of have that early 90s vibe. You have some eccentricity with the music and the records, and then you have also too. I'm gonna drop something that you're gonna love.
Drop it.
Bob Odenkirk is a huge Jackie Chan fan.
Nice.
The director of Shang-Chi, David Destin, I forget his last name. He's also a huge fan of Jackie Chan and Buster Keaton. And you can watch side-by-side videos of Buster Keaton and Jackie Chan, and you can see like Jackie Chan loves Buster Keaton. But they both have bus fights, both movies, and in both fights they talked about Jackie Chan. So Odenkirk wanted to pull his best Jackie Chan, and then Shang-Chi, that bus fight, they wanted to do their best Jackie Chan. That just makes me happy. I just want to drop that on you. But Odenkirk wanted to use the environments and use the railings and hit his head on the pole and use the pole for violence. Like he wanted to use the whole sets for his violence. And I mean, I don't get that comical vibe of it. Like I don't think it's more of a John Wick-esque violence film.
It's kinetic.
Yeah.
It's kinetic. When you're using everything on the screen and in the background, it's kinetic. It's almost video game like. The last couple of Batman games that came out, the Arkham series, those games, you're pulling out weapons from your utility belt, and at the same time you're pressing the button so that you can do a block and a counter, and it never stops. And sometimes you can use the equipment in the environment, and that comes from those movies that you mentioned. And that has come back into the movies now. The one thing that strikes about this movie that's so throwback, so old school. Surely there's some kind of CGI around. I don't know, but it looks very practical.
Yes.
Nothing looks super. Oh, clearly that's a digital bullet wound, because that happens a lot in movies now, where you just see the digital blood splatter and it looks weird. But this stuff is very visceral and it's very raw. When the Russian mob comes to his house and he throws the family in the panic room, don't call the police. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. This is when you know he's about to Hulk out again.
Oh, man.
They come into the house, okay? Goes old school, turns the lights off, baseball bat, smack, crack. Then I saw Pete Alonso of the New York Mets do this a few weeks ago, breaks a bat over his knee and stabs a guy with it. What? Oh, just so happens he's got boiling water on the stove? I'm going to get one guy with the boiling water. The next guy, I'm going to crack him in the face, and then fatality with the tea kettle.
Yeah.
Into the lasagna.
Oh, that was brutal.
Chekhov's lasagna, you know? I haven't made fresh lasagna in a while. Well, this guy gets to taste it.
Oh, Chekhov's lasagna.
Real.
Oh, man.
You got a lot of little Chekhov things. You got Chekhov's lasagna. You got Chekhov's kitty cat bracelet, which, spoiler alert, it was actually under the couch the whole time. Oh, silly me. What a tiny mistake.
Wait, Chekhov's running? Chekhov's muscle car?
Chekhov's muscle car. I didn't even find that car really. I thought that his car was better. Usually when they pull out the 70s muscle cars, they look really cool. Maybe it was the color.
Maybe.
I wasn't a fan of this one.
Yeah, it didn't look mean. It should have looked mean.
It was loud.
Yeah. It should have been Batman loud.
This is what
I'm joking.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm not talking about the it's just the style, you know? You want to pull out a Dodge Charger or something, you know? You want it to look sick, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The color was off. It was like cream instead of like a hard gleaming white. It looked kind of dirty.
This is a really random question. You can correct me, but they wanted to do I'm just spitballing here. They wanted to do like a 1970s gritty type vibe. When I think about this movie,
sure.
You know, the beginning's very desaturated, and then eventually it becomes a little bit more colorful, but you don't really get. It's not the most splashy movie, I think.
It's not.
So maybe they didn't want that bright car, if that makes sense. Maybe just because of the color palette. But it still didn't look cool. They still could have done a sweet, jet black. Rims, mean,
cerulean blue, chartreuse, if you will.
Oh, chartreuse. Mm.
Let's go. If we're going outside the box, let's just break that thing down, man. Break it down.
He's just talking to people when they're dying, and he doesn't even want to help them.
No.
They just die. People.
No.
He just wants. And you know what I love too? He goes in there with that landmine. Facing out into the karaoke club, and He's just, listen, man, you need to stop. Like, you gotta stop. Like, please stop. Just stop. It's kind of funny when you watch movies, too, because I try to get in the mind of a crime lord. But, I mean, if you're in a Scott Adkins movie or a movie like this or John Wick, like, just, guys, let him be. Like, let him be. Listen.
Let the Wookiee win. Let the Wookiee win.
He'll rip your arms out. If people think that you're a wimp or you've gone soft, fine. But you still have 7,000 henchmen. If you're like, I need to do this for my honor, and then all 7,000 of your henchmen are killed, and then you're killed.
All of them.
So then you should, like, Norbert, if we were rival crime syndicates.
Okay. Hi.
And
nice to meet you.
And you pissed off, like, this is, let's say this is lucky number 11. And we have to battle Josh Hartnett and Lucy Liu. So yeah, we're in dual skyscrapers. We look at each other, and I learned that you get into basically a feud with the Baba Yaga.
The Baba Yaga.
And it's like, you're like, hey man, I'm not gonna fight this Baba Yaga. Just letting you know. So just heads up. Like I wouldn't think any less of you. I'm like, listen, I was like, I want your demise. And I would love it if you engage with the Baba Yaga. But no, I'm not going to blame you. Like, I'm not going to think any less of you. Like, so.
No, 100%.
I was 100%. Like, I bet all the other crime lords are like, fair enough, yeah, you just don't battle the Baba Yaga. You don't battle nobody. You don't battle Rizza.
Look, you leave Bob Nobody alone, okay? Because you came to my house, which you don't effing do.
Yeah.
That was that. Once again, in the immortal words of Captain Picard, the line must be drawn here. This far, no further.
Yeah.
And he crossed that line. And so Bob Nobody says, okay, came to my house, made my daughter, I had to cover my daughter's eyes so that she walked past the 7 corpses. I had to pull out my Louis Armstrong, What a Wonderful World original printing vinyl, which, by the way, was set up to burst into flame the day I played it. I always had this contingency plan. I've been a psycho for even all this time that I've been playing Father Knows Best. That plan was in the background. He didn't pour gasoline on it. That particular album was set up to burst into flame when he played it. Okay? He's burned his whole life down. And so he says, you know what? I'm going to do that to karaoke Julian over here. Not only am I going to murder all his henchmen, basically all his henchmen, or a large portion of them, I'm going to burn down the Russian mafia's mob pension. I'm going to burn it down. You understand that that's at least $500 million.
At least.
Like, that's a conservative estimate. That's like $500 million that man burned and didn't take any of it. He's a psycho. He didn't take any.
All of his gold blocks he gives away.
No, he doesn't care about money. He doesn't care about stuff. He took the one painting because maybe he could fence it to the barber with the great Colin Salmon cameo, the barber. Yeah. Maybe he could fence that painting later, you know? But then he goes to the restaurant and he goes to the bar while the dude's doing karaoke, casually eating a steak. You got some nerve coming here. Whatever. Oh, by the way, I've got a 70s era Claymore mine that's just attached to my thumb. DGAF, man. YOLO. I'm here. Okay? So, listen, you're old enough, you know, you're young enough, you can still rebuild. Oh, yeah, by the way, I burned all the money, killed most of your men, burned your house down, too, because I had to burn my house. So if we stop now, it's good. We're all good. Goes outside, sits in the car, crosses his fingers. Please come to kill me. Please come outside. Because if Julian doesn't come out to follow him, then he doesn't get a chance to show him all his cool anti-wet bandit from Home Alone technology that he set up in the office to kill henchmen and hired goons. He's insane, bro. He's insane.
And I love that story about how mad he was about the guy in Idaho. And he's just like, he'll never be that guy. He's just a crazy person who wants that.
Because it seems nice. It seems nice, and it's something different from killing, because even Julian, the Russian mob dude, he's defending the Obchak, but he doesn't want to do that. He just wants to be a psycho too.
Yeah.
You know, he wants to find out. He goes to the hospital. What happened to my brother? Picks up a chair.
Great chair throw.
launches a chair at a man in a hospital bed and it hits him in the face. Give me the information I want after I've just concussed you for a third time.
What a beautiful scene.
It's a parallel. They're basically the same dude, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yulian doesn't want a family. He just wants to be a psycho.
Yeah, he doesn't even like his brother.
No. But that's mine. It's the principality, as they say in Friday. You know? I just want to kill people. Both of them are like that. But Odenkirk is at least trying to play the facade. Bob Nobody's trying to play the facade of I'm a good guy, actually. You know, I just want to have a family with 2 kids. Yulian, he's fully embraced the dark side. I'm a sociopath and I dig it. And if I play with the mob, I got to watch this stupid money for a little while, but I have enough money to just be a psycho, and I don't care about the consequences.
I can kill people with martini glasses that own 3% of my company.
And then everybody was just, okay, we get his 3%. Yeah, Yuli. Man, no good people in this movie, bro.
When you're around these two, you just you know, even if you're minding your own business, you're dead.
You might be dead, man. The temperature drops when they walk in the room, man, because they are cold-blooded.
It's like working for Voldemort. Everyone's scared while he's around. But you know what's cool? You know, wait, I just had a thought while you were saying all this about the dueling kind of natures of the antagonists and the Yulian and Hutch. Mm-hmm. And it's, you know what's interesting is Hutch could have walked off that bus, but instead he goes back on the bus. And then he goes back onto the bus a second time. Like, he locks himself in the bus, then he goes back onto the bus. So those guys didn't do anything to him. He instigated the fight. He paralyzed and left a guy with brain damage. So you are a psychotic Russian mobster. We're talking Sherman through Atlanta, you know, like total war. Total war. And so you're just going full total war on everybody. And then nobody's like, you mess with my family. And it's like, and there's a line too when he goes and talks to some people, when he goes and talks to the people at the house. And what does he say? He's like, I'm a good guy. Oh, I'm a good man, a family man, a man who did not deserve this. And I was like,
come on, Bob Nobody, you know better than that.
That's script writing right there. I think they're trying to slowly kind of let you know who he is. But I was worried about that. I'm a good man. I'm like, no, you're not.
No, you're really not, bro.
No,
you're really not.
You're not.
You're really not.
Yeah, and so I like that kind of moment. But it's interesting how he commits the crime, the Russian mob retaliates, and then he's such a psycho. He's like, all right.
He's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I can do this again? I get to murder again? Yeah! He can't wait to murder again.
Yeah.
He can't wait to murder again. And I reiterate it, man, because it's the premise of the movie. God damn it, Hutchie. I find you miss this shit. They like murder, bro.
And
Hutch. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you got it.
I was just going to say real quick. Hutch warns him, Dad, remember that thing I had to do? Be careful.
You better go do it.
Yeah, you better. His dad asks no questions when he comes to take his service revolver and his FBI badge. Cool. You're going to go kill somebody? Have fun. We'll have dinner tomorrow. No problem.
He's like Peacemaker, but Peacemaker doesn't try to go good.
No. Peacemaker's another guy who's just accepted. I'm a piece of shit. That's what I am. So they come. The 2 hired goons, land shark, they just go into the retirement home. They're going to murder an old man. Okay, no problem. Why does Christopher Lloyd have the sawed off under the blanket? And he gets to do Uncle Fester from the Addams Family movie again. Total silence, extreme close-up, weird facial expressions as he's murdering these guys. Says not a word. Just opens his eyes. What a wonderful world. Blaka! The thing he does where he holds the gun to stop it from shooting. That man's also a murderer.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
because he's got the tattoo, too. And he was in the FBI.
You have to understand exactly how guns work to do the timing. It's
right. And he's 90.
And he does explode that dude with his sawed-off shotgun. And then the orderly is not paying attention. But
turn the TV down. And he makes a point of showing this is a remote control. Pay no attention to the other hand where I'm choking the guy who's bleeding out on my lap. They're the family of cheerful sociopaths. The end credit scene, why didn't we take the plane? The post credit scene, why didn't we take a plane? Because we got the luggage, the RZA. They look behind, they've got an arsenal.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But I love this movie because it's not, the movie is done in an hour and 25 minutes, 26.
That's it.
Okay?
Yeah.
These are not good people, but you want to hang out with them.
Yeah. Because this is my theory. They are unapologetic about who they are.
Yeah.
Now,
DGAF.
think about the heroes we grew up with. Rambo, PTSD, then he just becomes a murderer. Lethal Weapon, you have Riggs, PTSD. Then you have, let's see, McClane, he's
burned out,
but he's
burnt
burnt out cop, but he's burnt out. He's trying to protect his family. We have John Wick. He gets his dog killed. It's just I got my daughter taken. I got this taken. I got that taken. I'm afflicted with this. My parents were killed. I'm Batman. Nobody is just a man who murdered hundreds upon hundreds of people, which I'm thinking. Then he sees something, and then in his psychotic mind, so he's a psychopath. He's not a sociopath.
Thank you.
Right? Yeah, he's a psychopath. Because
Okay,
he doesn't. He's not pretending.
No, he's not.
No, he's a psychopath, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he realizes that the life is horrible. He gets a chance to go back in for violence because of the kitty cat bracelet, and he does. And there's no I'm so sorry. There's no the military did this to me. He's like, no, the military laughed at him like, you can't. And I like that he didn't have to do a final job to get out of the military. They're just like,
no, he just quit.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, you be back, bro. Whatever.
Yeah. I would love to be his handler. It's like, hey, nobody wants to quit. Like, we're not gonna. We let him do what he wants. Nobody messes with nobody. All right. It's like we're not.
Don't tell him no.
No. Okay. So I'll be like, you got it. But
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, I'll see you in a few years. Like, I would just say that to him. Like, I would have to get something in. Like, you can do whatever you want. No one's gonna mess with you, but you'll be back. So when he comes back, I'm further up the chain because it's been 16 years, maybe 15 years.
Right.
I would just smile at him like an idiot.
Hey, hey, good to see you.
Look at my watch, like, oh, took longer than expected.
A little snarky, but not too much. Because right over there's a tea kettle. On the left, it might be a baseball bat. So hey, you're a little jokey, but you respect the God. Yeah. Because, like you say, psychopath versus sociopath, right? Psychopath, manipulative, charming, lead a semblance of a normal life, right? Sociopath, erratic and rage prone. So yeah, definitely a psychopath.
He just doesn't have to pretend, and he just, oh man. But he does it well for 10 years though, like 15 years. Like he
barely. The greatest thing about this movie is that in the beginning they set up the banality of his life. Wake up, make the breakfast, time to get the donuts, jog, rage-filled pull-ups, forgetting to bring out the trash.
Idiot in-laws.
Right. The wife keeps reminding him, Mr. Trash, Mr. Trash. Goes to sleep next to his wife. They've got a great house with an attached garage. They don't have any problems. Wife's got pillows in between them when they sleep, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Wow. Wow.
She knew about him, though.
Kind of, it seems, right?
Yeah. And
yeah.
You figure, she's like, my husband's a murderer. And he would come home banged up, which they established. Yeah. She used to sew him up. Right. So for his family, he tried to go straight, but then he overcorrected. And then she just wasn't into him anymore.
Yeah. That's a good point. Maybe, you're a badass. And so that's kind of hot because you're not the hottest guy in the world. You look like Bob Odenkirk. I mean, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that you're a murderer. And then he becomes not a murderer. And she's, let me put these pillows up. I don't even want to touch this guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She has a board in her house, hasn't killed somebody in 3,000 days. Like, she's just, but yeah, when he goes to work and an idiot brother-in-law puts a gun in his face, and then you have Michael Ironside, who doesn't lose an arm, which is very disappointing. in this movie.
Well, I'm just glad to see he's still alive because he definitely got, wow, he let himself go. I was not aware that was Ironside. Compared to the way he looks in that to the way he looked in, God, what was the last? I really haven't been keeping up because I think the last movie I saw him in was Starship Troopers. Oh my God.
Losing an arm in that one.
Yeah.
Or had lost an arm. But yeah, it's just they treat him terribly. It's a fair offer. It's not a great one. And just, but see.
Yeah, right.
At this point in nobody's life, I'm just gonna call him nobody. He's not gonna make anybody a great offer in his life now. Every offer that he gives somebody is gonna be fair because he doesn't have any life in him.
He's holding himself back.
Yeah.
And he held himself back so much, it's to the point where he's just, I'd rather be dead than live this comfortable suburban crap, you know? But after he hospitalizes those 5 men in the bus, he comes home, the wife gives him the medical attention, you know, stitches him up. You know, you haven't touched me in 17 years, you know? We don't make love. We don't have sex, you know? Remember who he used to be? And then he just leaves. And after politely asking for sex and receiving pretty good Vietnam level field era medical attention.
Yeah.
She uses the crazy glue to close the skin, which apparently was the original reason crazy glue was invented.
Pretty good for a real estate agent.
Seriously. After all of this, he's laying there beaten and bruised. She moves one pillow and touches him kind of gently. And then we go to the next scene. But that's it. Kind of touch. They're still not really doing it. Because she's I'm kind of remembering, you know, why I used to be into you. Let me. Oh yeah, okay, that's a nice deltoid. Okay, time to go to bed. We're still going to keep the pillow next to the naughty bits, but we're gonna at least move the top pillow. You know, second base is a possibility now.
You're more wily than or you're more wiry than I remember.
Yeah. That deltoid, I remember that deltoid. Okay. Okay, there it is. Okay, you might get some Bob Nobody, but not now. You know.
And I love in the garage scene because sometimes you get those stupid movies like, where are we going? We're not going. I'm not going anywhere. Like
what kind of man are you? You're a murderer. I can't be. She's just very calm.
Yeah. Listen, I know you're a murderer. Then you tried to play it straight. Now you're back to murdering. So I get it. I'll take the kids somewhere. Like, I like too that she says, I'll take the kids somewhere safe. She's been through this before. She knows what a safe place is. Cell phones can be tracked, cash. Right. She takes them somewhere safe. So I love that the usual drama of these movies are not there. There's no dead dog. There is no dead children. A wife doesn't get fridged.
No shrieking wife.
No shrieking wife. Family members. So I figured the reason she took this role is because it's not that role. There's no shrieking. There's no wife on the phone. Mm-hmm. There's none of that. You don't have the villain doesn't have a son that he loves a lot, like in John Wick or whatever, that gets killed. So then that happens. His family lives. You don't have. You know, there's not even cop characters on the side. Like, Mark Ruffalo doesn't pop up with his hair slicked back going, oh, who's this guy? Oh, this isn't practical. Like, where's he from? This isn't normal.
The police never get involved.
Yes, exactly.
There are mountains of corpses throughout this movie, and the cops only show up at the end of Home Alone, where they've successfully done an adult version of Home Alone. All of the wet bandit traps have worked. There are just mountains of corpses in this movie. And then they kind of, so who is this guy? I'm nobody. Don't let me be misunderstood. 3 months later, he's buying a new house. Mm-hmm. There are no consequences for anyone.
None. No consequences. None. Family members don't die. It's just...
He's all stuff.
He doesn't have a sidekick who gets killed. It's so refreshingly absent of all the tropes that are unnecessary that
stripped down.
You don't. So I didn't know much about Nobody when I watched it, and I gotta tell you, this is one of the most refreshing experiences I've had because, you know, I talk about expectations, and I don't think people should have expectations going in on movies, but for some reason the marketing and I don't think they wanted to give away a lot. I think the marketing part, like, it was a little. They didn't want to say that he was an ex-CIA. Then you're like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, I think the marketing, I was like, oh man. But as this movie unfolded, as Christopher Lloyd starts shooting people, as RZA's sniping people, as Home Alone, people get Home Alone. There's car chases. There's Pat Benatar. You're just there's karaoke. There's martini glass murder. Zero cops. No Mark Ruffalo and Peter Berg going, man, look at this. Like, look at this thing. How he damaged all these people. This, you know how hot this fire burned. This is a pro.
Right.
This is a pro.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
we don't have to get that reinforcement of this is why he's good. You can just see it. Show, not tell.
And you know they established the Pavel, the Black Russian, as you think he's going to be the sort of mad dog from the raid, but then he just gets killed.
Right.
Like there's no second in command. There's no Gary Busey to Tommy Lee Jones. It's
dies horribly. Yeah.
It's just, this movie is so beautifully straightforward. It is. There are no, like, there's a twist, sure, but there's no anything. Like I just watched Hell or High Water the other day, and I was talking about how refreshing that movie is too. Like there's just something about these movies that are just, you know, good writers, good directors.
Yeah, it's our generation. We grew up on movies that were just, this is a man, and this is why he does it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And everyone dies, and you know what? Most of the time, the cops in those movies don't show up till the end either. It's very rare. And if they do show up, it's like you said, to provide that just exposition. My God, look at this wound. It's so precise. This is no amateur. This man is an expert. No, like you say, all of that's gone. All of that's gone. We've broken it down to the nitty gritty. We want to see a guy rampage through hired goons for 90 minutes. That's what you get. That's what you get here. It's it's bare bones as possible.
And I love that he's not dealing with anything. His daughter's not kidnapped. It's like all those movies, like, but exactly like you said, there's always that mission, Commando, right? Go blow up people because your daughter's taken. They always gave the heroes a reason to murder people. This one doesn't.
No, I like killing, and that's where I'm at. You know, if they killed his kids, you know, to his credit, he does seem like it would bother him if his kids were hurt.
He likes his daughter.
Right, he definitely likes it. His daughter's adorable.
Yeah.
He's talking about kitty cat bracelet. You just want to pinch her cheeks and give her a My Little Pony. Yeah. You know, but he's attached. I get the vibe that he's attached to his family in the same way that I'm attached to a specific set of dishes, because they just make me feel good. And I got these dishes a while ago, and I don't want to throw them away. You know, what if somebody comes over? You know, I want to impress them with my nice dishes. Hey, look at my dishes. You know, that's how I feel. I'm not going to say he doesn't care about his family, but it's kind of a material attachment. He saw what that one guy had, and he wants that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it helps that his wife looks like Connie Nielsen.
1 hour photo. And yeah, I mean, she's Wonder Woman's mom. So I mean, you know, you're doing good. And also too, man, like, this movie has a $16 million budget. And man, that's why you hire the director you did, right? That's why you hire Ilya Naishuller. Like, he did Hardcore Henry. He totally understood the bare bones approach. That's why you get all the stunt people that you have. I mean, that's why you bring in Daniel Bernhardt. That's why you get, I have the notes here, just 1 second. 8711. You know one of the guys on the bus, he's the star of the latest Kickboxer movies with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Really?
You get guys who are randomly on the bus who star in their own stunt-heavy movies. Nice. And so you have all the stunt people on the planet coming in for this. And one thing I really like going through it is the cinematographer is actually really good. The guy who shot Hereditary, Paweł Pogorzelski, he shot Hereditary and Midsommar. So you have this horror movie director of photography coming in, and they shot 2-3-5-1. They did a really great job with wide shots in this movie. So the scene where the car flips, I think that's expertly made, because like it comes in on the left side of the screen.
Right, that was great.
It's a very unique shot. And then when he's talking to the dead bodies, he's sitting in his chair, and there's just this wide shot of dead bodies there. But they use the widescreen format really well in this film. And I love that so much to it. Like, they really, like, you have an excellent cinematographer who understands working on a budget, but he's also worked for Ari Aster, who is wildly into his visuals. Then you have a guy who comes out of Russia who knows his action. You have 8711, one of the best stunt groups on the planet. You have solid actors all around. They actually cast Russians in this role. This guy's Russian, the director. And he goes, I'm so happy they let me cast Russians because I can now go back to Russia and show this movie so people aren't like, hey, you're a Russian who went to America and made a movie with no Russians. So they actually flew in Russians. But I don't know. It's like cool though, man. Like this is a movie that it's a tight package, excellent for widescreen, like 235 cinematography. The star was so committed, dude. This, he interviewed the director because he was on this first. And you have Derek Kolstad, who knows all these movies by the back of his hand. He's done all the John Wick movies. It's just talent through and through. And that's what I love, man. Like, I'm happy this movie made $57 million during a pandemic, but it's. I just hope it doesn't get forgotten, but because you don't really hear too many people talking about it. Why aren't many people talking about it?
Well, unfortunately, the only action movie that I know that people talk about is The Fast and the Furious. And I think we've talked before. I can't stand those movies because it's a comic book on screen, which is ironic because I love comic book movies. But it just seems even more ridiculous than a comic book. A kid getting bitten by a radioactive spider and being able to lift a car is more believable than what I see in the Fast and the Furious movies. And this is so, yeah, people are not as into the practical looking stuff.
Yeah.
As we are, because we grew up with that. If you're 20 years old, this is one of the few movies with just almost zero CGI looking fight scenes that you've ever seen, unless you're into martial arts movies that they're making, the Tony Jaa stuff. And even then, you might get a little bit of wire work, but that's still more believable than what's in the Fast and the Furious, the Transformers movies. People want this absurd, if I'm going to spend $15, I want to see, I want my money on the screen. Maybe that type of thing. That's the only thing I could postulate, because this is look, it's not a deep movie. That's for sure. It is what it is. It's an hour and 27 minutes, and that's it,
And yeah, sorry, go for it.
Oh, that's basically it, man. And then, at the end of the movie, when he hangs up the phone at 3 months later and he's with, Mrs. Nobody, and the phone call, and yeah, okay. Does this house have a basement? She asks, does the house have a basement? And I'm thinking when they hang up the phone, the Mansells are going to Vegas because it's about to go down again.
Yeah.
So they leave a little sequel opening, and they can certainly make the same movie again. So.
And I guess if you think about it too, like John Wick, you have villains that you just hate because they killed the dog. So there's that emotional attachment. And then you have also, Keanu Reeves. True Lies, when Arnold's acting like he's not tough. But then you have the whole, like the Cameron classic is, he's so smart because he puts the relationship drama into True Lies.
Right.
And then, he almost incorporates and then, you have that attachment to it. And then you have, the Fast 9 with the family and the larger than life stuff, anything with The Rock, larger than life. This movie's this movie's just 16 mil, chill, very good. But you don't have an actor who, you have my daughter, I have a set of skills. This is, I'm a murderer and I want to go back killing people.
Yeah. He's sitting there in his office after he kills the guys not kills. He's sitting there in his office. He gets off. He fights the 5 guys on the bus, goes back to work, staring at Microsoft Excel, and the whole time he's just thinking, "Man, I wish I could punch somebody in the face right now." That's it.
I love when he lands that stomach shot on.
Easy.
Oh gosh.
And I hated the brother-in-law. He's the worst actor in the movie.
And I'm so happy because he lands several very strong stomach shots. I remember one time I was boxing somebody in a front yard, and I don't know what they did, but they just hit me right in the middle of the stomach, like right there.
In the breadbasket.
And I dropped. I didn't even try acting tough. I think I even said good job because at that point in my boxing career, I didn't even think about punching people in the stomach. And so when that guy hit me, I fell on the ground. So whenever I feel those punches, I know what those are like. So I love when he hit that guy like that because that's what would happen. It's just, and Listen, I love this movie. I'm glad it made money. I'm glad critics like it. I'm glad it wasn't falling down too. I'm stoked we're talking about it. I'm glad you put it on that list.
There you go, champ.
Oh,
Anything for you.
any any other final thoughts about this movie?
Yeah, the woman comes to work. It says the office is closed. Why does she try to jiggle the door open? Does she really want to go back to work so badly?
Yeah, I'd run away.
Dude, once I see the office closed, and it says office closed until further notice, like indefinitely. Bye, peace out. Just as long as my check keeps coming, because I didn't tell the office to close.
And
just pay me.
My biggest problem with this movie is when he parks. I'm speaking of the office, like she went back to the office after he bought it. He goes back to the office. He parks in the owner's spot, but then he kind of dilly-dallies, and then he gets shot. It's just. It seems very anti-nobody at that point. No?
You know what? He's a psychopath. So maybe he just remembers that time that, he used a straw from a cup to enable the breathing of a man who he just crippled functionally.
Yeah.
It could be. Or maybe he remembers the time that those Russian mobsters broke into his house and he killed a guy with a tea kettle.
We're not even talking about how he killed Julian, just running at him with...
Oh. And then with Chekhov's mind.
Yep, Chekhov's mind. Oh, God. And he pulls it with his teeth, and the two just explode.
He's insane.
Yeah.
He's insane. That glass is bulletproof. And sure, the mind clearly says front toward enemy. So, suspension of disbelief. The front toward the enemy. Mm-hmm. That guy's the enemy. It's not going to blow back. It's going to blow forward. But still, you got air pressure.
Yeah.
But he was holding a bulletproof glass, so everything's okay. That man died badly, Julian.
Oh, his face was melted. Did you see that?
God. Dude, graphic violence.
You know what this movie does, though, is it does enough for me to be like, okay. So when the car flips, he's like, and you're like, okay, that's enough. And when he runs towards Julian, you see, it explodes this way. Okay, well, he's the other side. So it does just enough to explain the insanity, if that makes sense. Like you see his head get hit on the pole and he gets thrown out of the bus, and so he's unhuman. Like you said, he's Wolverine. This is Wolverine.
That's it.
And it's just, but I love though that they do just enough to make you think, that's fair enough. Like he's crawling out of here. Like and after that bus fight too, and after he murders everybody in that building and survives the car crash, you're like, this guy isn't human.
A building full of people. The man looks like a social studies teacher. He kills a building full of people, heavily armed goons.
Mm-hmm.
And then burns $500 million minimum.
And he puts gasoline in the water pipes and then just...
Dude, he's insane.
Yeah.
And I love it.
And there's you never see him sad putting a gun by his head, or you never see him. He doesn't have to go to therapy.
He's not that guy. He's not that guy. This is what he wants to be doing, Some people want to knit. Other people want to make those cakes that look like actors. That man wants to murder everyone.
I would love to eat a cake that looks like...
Bob Nobody?
Yeah.
I refuse to call him Hutch because that's furniture. And if my father named me after furniture, we would have to fight. And don't call me Hutchie because that doesn't sound cute.
Wait.
It's even more ridiculous.
I wonder if he works with Mr. Nobody in the Fast and Furious world.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Podcast over. I'm going home.
You know what? I would love it if nobody knocked off Dwayne Johnson's character. That'd be awesome.
Oh, man. The Rock wouldn't allow that. There's no way. And remember, kids, when you're assaulting somebody, don't have any identifying tattoos. I thought we learned that from A Time to Kill when the racist guy assaulted Sandra Bullock and you could recognize the ring.
Oh, and don't leave your bus pass.
Please don't leave your bus pass. Super trackable.
Man, he probably just left it there hoping.
That's another thing. He wants all the smoke, all of it.
What's that dance move when you swing your arms in front of you and you like swivel your hips? That they did on Shazam. Like, the Shazam, when you put your arms down and you put it in between your flossing. I wish Bob Odenkirk would have started flossing when the cars started coming up the road.
It was just, yes.
And then Connie Nielsen goes, kids, basement.
Yeah. Yeah, Connie Nielsen, I have this comfortable. Connie Nielsen is kind of the Carmela Soprano offshoot, where, Carmela Soprano loved the trappings of the life, but she felt guilty, quote unquote. She wasn't a good person. She kind of felt guilty. Connie Nielsen is just, I used to like banging this guy, but now, hey, I'm a successful real estate agent. At least I got a duvet. What can I tell you?
Yeah, he hasn't killed anybody. She likes him less because he hasn't murdered recently.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it.
She's a psychopath.
Well, this is the thing. There's an argument to be made that there's not a lot of likable people in this movie other than the little girl, who's actually innocent. Because even the son's kind of a jerk.
Mm-hmm. The neighbor's terrible. The cops are terrible.
Well, the cops are literally incompetent.
Yeah. Oh man, someone broke into their house. You know what I would do?
Yeah.
Come on.
Even
now.
the cop, you know what I would do. You know what you did do? Nothing. You didn't do anything. You didn't even find the guys afterwards, in retrospect. Like, we never saw those. We never heard we didn't hear from the police again until Mountain of Corpses 5, basically, at the end of the movie. There have been mountains of corpses. And the police,
I would do a triple spinning tuck, and I would flip kick this guy. And you know what, Norbert? After watching so many fights in bars, I just sort of lost faith in humanity in fighting. It's the ugliest.
It's not cool.
It's the ugliest, grossest thing that makes everybody look bad.
And you feel terrible afterwards, But then you talk all this, yo, man, if that was me, I would have hit him with a shoryuken, and then I would have done the final tiger genocide and just wiped him across the screen. Okay, Brian. Sure, man. Tiger uppercut.
Do you watch Tekken? King? His uppercuts? That's what I would do.
That's what I would do. I was the mocap actor for that. Totally.
I was like, so totally. Is the person you're fighting in this incredibly packed bar with a very slippery floor, with you having double vision from 14 Jaegers and Cokes?
All the Jaeger shots.
You're going to be able to throw a successful uppercut inside of Chubby's, the club? I guarantee you're either gonna hit somebody next to you, and then you dislocate your shoulder. You're gonna slip before you do and take out somebody. Then they're gonna beat you up.
Oh, for Christ's sake, man!
We did have a club called Chubby's.
Of course we did. Yeah. Of course we did. My bar in college was the Regal Beagle.
The Regal. I worked at Big Daddy's. That was my club.
Oh, man!
My club in Tallahassee was a lot safer than the one I worked at in St. Pete. That was a crazy one. Yeah. All right. Well, this was fun, dude. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, much love to you, man. Always.
All right. Where can people find you?
At Eddie Kane, EDDIECAINE on the Twitter and SoundCloud, Norbert Morvan.
You can listen to the Con Air podcast too. Norbert does the theme song. Norbert, not does. He did the theme song for it.
Put the bunny down.
But it's like Bowie meets Norbert meets Nick Cage, and it's beautiful.
It's terrible.
You don't like it?
No. I'm that guy. I'm always. I look at my old work and I'm just.
I think it's ridiculous. I think it's very MFF, that theme song.
You are appreciated, my friend.
That's right. Well. Oh man, this makes me want to watch Ghost Dog now. His score. Actually, this makes me want to watch all the Jim Jarmusch movies. Coffee and Cigarettes, when he's hanging out with Bill Murray. My Megan got me a Woo PS shirt. So in The Dead Don't Die, RZA works as a Woo PS delivery driver, and so I have a Woo PS shirt now.
Okay, you need to send me one of those.
It's amazing. I will. Give me your size, and I'll ship it over to you.
Nice.
So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Norbert Morvan, this is Movie Sons of Flicks. We'll see you next week.